Ladies and gents, it is your boy Buckhead Sam, and we are back again today for another video. Today's video, we're going to be brutally ranking every Premier League goalkeeper from the 2024-2025 season. But before we get into it, please do smash the like button and please do subscribe. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Yes, it's ambitious, but I can only do it if you help. Let's get straight into it, starting off with Nick Pope. Now, Nick Pope is a really weird one for me. At one point, I probably would have had him in an Unreal a couple of seasons back when he was absolutely incredible. But for me now, there's even a discussion that maybe Dubravka could start for Newcastle. We saw when Dubravka came in after Pope's injuries and things, he kind of really did well. But Pope for me is a bit of an awkward one. I'd probably say right now I'd put him in meh. Now, some people may think that's a bit harsh, but I think overall as a goalkeeper, when you take into account everything that's going on, his form and things, I think meh. I think when you look at the rest of these keepers and you look at this list, we've got go, unreal, decent, meh, and get out. I don't think he's decent. I don't think he's on that level yet. And I think really Newcastle should go in for somebody like James Trafford and get a goalkeeper in fast, because I think he's probably their biggest weak point. When you look at the squad now, you're kind of seeing how it's developing and how it's building over time and how they've invested quite well. I think now is their time they need to step up on Nick Pope. Next, we have got Leno. Leno isn't going decent for me. Leno is a really consistent goalkeeper, and I feel like he was kind of his career has been tarnished from his time at Arsenal, and he's moved to Fulham and things and been consistent now for quite a few seasons. And I feel like everyone kind of appreciates now that he's just a good goalkeeper. And I think maybe the pressures and the things that was going on at Arsenal and the way they were trying to get him to play, he didn't just suit the system. But now at Fulham, he's kind of made the position his own and things. I think he's been captain quite often. I really like him as a goalkeeper, so he's definitely going in decent. No real problems and no real kind of flaws to his game. So go straight in there. Solid. Next, got Edison. Edison for me is going to go in Unreal, probably towards the bottom of Unreal. I think he's better than the decent level of goalkeeper, better than the majority of goalkeepers in this league. You kind of get really harshly criticised by a lot of people, including myself. Maybe a couple of years back, I used to say he was really overrated. And I think now I've kind of come to the conclusion that I think because of how good his passing is and how good his distribution is, we expect that level of world class output then from his shot stop and everything like that. But he's a good goalkeeper. I think we kind of just like to really downplay him. I think Ortega's made his stocks go up. When Ortega's come in, you've seen the massive drop off that has been from Edison. So I think maybe that is why now I kind of put him on a bit of a higher pedestal now, but purely because of Ortega. So yeah, we're gonna go in Unreal for Edison. Next, we've got Vicario. Vicario is a weird one. Unreal, decent, great shot stopper for me. I'm going to put him in the top of decent. I think kind of his overall game and at times can be really frustrating. His distribution, I've seen him a couple of times really mess up, and I only get to see him in isolation. You've got to remember, I'm a West Bromwich Albion fan, so I don't watch all these teams week in, week out. So when I do see them, I've highlighted a lot of his mistakes when I've seen him, and from corners and things and free kicks. I don't feel like he's strong enough. I think maybe over time, but I do know he's second in the XG prevented chart, so I know he's a great shot stopper, but overall, I don't feel like he's completely there, but I think he'll get to Unreal over time. So we'll leave him in decent for now. Next, we have got Flecken. Now, Flecken is a really weird one again. I'm pushing towards decent, meh. We'll put him at the top of meh. A keeper again. He's just meh. Like it's just okay. And I think we talk about kind of what you expect from a Brentford goalkeeper. He kind of goes about his business. Not too many howlers and things. So that's why we're going to put him in meh. Kind of just does exactly what he's expected to do. But I think he's at his level. Can't really ever see him going on, kind of improving and competing with these goalkeepers. Yes, it might seem a little bit harsh, but just hear me out as we kind of get onto the rest of these players. Next, got Verbruggen. Verbruggen. Hmm. 1 minute I feel like decent, the next meh, because he kind of really frustrates me as a goalkeeper. He's got a mistake in him, which is what really frustrates me. And I don't think it's helped. I know now he's made the position his own, but you saw under De Zerbi and things in and out of the squad. And I don't think that really helped his confidence, which is why we saw a lot of mistakes. Whereas now he's been a lot more consistent. And do you know what? Actually, I'm going to put him in decent. I think this season he's been pretty solid. I think he's been a big part as to why Brighton have been a lot better, especially defensively compared to last season. You kind of the chopping and changing of goalkeepers probably really didn't help the situation. But now he's kind of made the position his own. I think he's been pretty decent. So I'm going to whack him in decent. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Next, we've got Sells. Now, Sells, some people might go, oh my word, he's in Unreal. Don't get me wrong, he's a good goalkeeper. He's had a good season, but let's just calm down a bit. Everyone's kind of getting really ahead of themselves. He's been incredible at times this season. In form, one of the best goalkeepers in the league. But I think we've got to sit back and kind of look at it as a whole and go, okay, is he really a world-class goalkeeper? Is he really unreal? No, he's decent. He's a very good goalkeeper. And that's what this level is. Decent is just, yeah, solid goalkeepers that I'm happy with. These are kind of the better goalkeepers in the league. I probably would probably put him above Vicario, actually, now I'm thinking about it. So going to go on top of decent. This season he's been again, a big part as to why Nottingham Forest have been as good as they have been. But I do think he's really helped with the fact of how great his defence is when you compare him to like Vicario and things. Vicario is obviously getting tested every single minute with that Tottenham defence. Next, we've got Areola. Now, this is a really weird one. At one point, his stocks were high, but I'm going to put him in meh. I always get really frustrated with Ariola. I feel like he makes a lot of mistakes. And I feel like we kind of look at him, his career, and think about some of the clubs he's been at in previous seasons. You kind of put him on this pedestal. Like, we all look at him as the keeper that's played on the big stage, played for France and things, but he's never really made the position his own at West Ham. You kind of think the fact that Fabianski every year somehow kind of gets back into the squad at times just really frustrates me. So I'm going to put him in meh. I just feel like he's kind of maybe slightly overrated. Next, we've got Kepa. Now, Kepa for me has had a pretty decent season. Put him in the top of meh. Obviously, we've got to put aside the fee and everything from Chelsea. We're talking about Bournemouth Kepa. Yeah, solid. We can't really complain. I think he's been pretty decent at times throughout the season. Yes, a couple of mistakes and things, but you can't help but just think about the price tag that was paid and things for Chelsea. And it's mad that maybe if he was at Chelsea right now, he'd probably be the starting goalkeeper. Let's be honest. It's crazy to even suggest that. It actually feels mental, doesn't it? How we've come full circle that realistically Kepa would probably be the best goalkeeper right now at Chelsea. But I think he's had a pretty decent season, a respectable loan spell. But we're going to put him in meh. Just okay. Next, got Alisson, the goat. It's simple as that. Whenever we do these videos, I always say GOAT. There'll only be one person in GOAT. Okay? And when I say GOAT, I mean for the season. He's not the greatest of all time. He's the best goalkeeper right now on the planet and definitely in the Premier League. He's absolutely incredible. I think back to that PSG game so many times this season he kind of carries that team. And I still go on about it all the time that every one-on-one I ever watch with Allison, I always back him. And I think that's probably the biggest compliment I can give him. He's absolutely incredible. Consistent now at the top level for so long. I'm obsessed with him. He's so good. I love the guy. So he's going to go straight into GOAT. Next, we've got Andre Onana. Andre Onana is going to go in meh. Now, I feel like he probably gets a lot of unnecessary hate and stick because I know it's kind of like a bit of a meme and you kind of talk about the way Manchester United are, but I do think sometimes he is a bit of a scapegoat. And I do think you kind of look at him last season, he won the Golden Glove Award, had a lot of XG prevented at times. Yes, I know he makes a lot of mistakes and things, but I do think that's also because of the position that he's put in, the way he's asked to play and things. So we're gonna get meh because overall I think he's okay, but he's not decent. He's not consistent enough because this level here, decent. These are all consistent goalkeepers. Where these they're moments where they drop and they're lacking confidence or lacking concentration and things. That's why I'm going to go Anana in there because I think probably putting him in get out is probably a little bit harsh and probably maybe a bit too over the top. Next got Hermansen. I really like him and I think he can get into Unreal if he moves on, but as a goalkeeper, the amount of times I've seen him kind of keep Leicester in games is absolutely crazy. I think back to that game against Arsenal at their place earlier on in the season. I think he had like 4 XG prevented, which is absolutely mental in the game. But as a goalkeeper, I think he's incredible. I really like him. Young, confident, and that's what I really like about he just because to be a Leicester goalkeeper, it really does destroy your confidence because your goal is getting peppered week in, week out, and that defense is conceded. I know he's had some injury problems this season, but when he's been there, I've really liked him, and I think maybe getting a move away, maybe to somebody like Newcastle could really help him kind of really move on in his career. Next, we've got Jordan Pickford. I'm going to go in Unreal. I feel like Jordan Pickford now. I kind of spoke about it before, and maybe at times I was a bit harsh, but now consistent goalkeeper at the top level on the big stage for week in, week out for years now. And I feel like he's very underappreciated as a goalkeeper. I really like him. And for Everton, he's been incredible now for quite a while. And under David Moyes, he's kind of even kind of gone that little step further. And I feel like maybe this season and last season as well, he's matured as a goalkeeper. You don't see him have those emotional moments where he kind of loses his head and goes crazy at everybody. So that's why I really like him. Overall, a very good goalkeeper. Next, we are on to Muric. Simple as this. Muric is going to go straight in to get out. I don't know how he got a move. I really don't get it. I can't get my head around how he stayed in the Premier League. Week in, week out, I watch him. And Alex Palmer as a signing, I think, for Ipswich is a great signing. He'd be in meh probably for the minute. But I think overall, Muric as a signing. He was awful for Burnley last season. He's been awful again this season. Simple as that. Next, we've got Dean Henderson. Unreal at the bottom. I really like him as a goalkeeper. I think he's massively stepped up this season. Kind of really gone under the radar a little bit because we kind of looked at Crystal Palace and everyone's thinking, can he break into the team? Because Sam Johnson was playing quite well at times last season, but they've backed him. Glasner's backed him, and he's been incredible. The highest XG prevented in the Premier League this season, over 5 XG prevented. I absolutely love him, and I think about that knee side against Aston Villa. I think we all kind of looked at Dean Henderson as a bit of a weird one. The way he spoke about Manchester United, his confidence and things. I think he kind of got this bit of stick because we have this thing in the media, and we don't like English players having that kind of confidence. You see it with Jude Bellingham as well. Kind of gets a lot of unnecessary stick and hate. Dean Henderson backs himself, but I feel like this season he's kind of backed up his confidence. He's been absolutely incredible. So we definitely go into Unreal. Next, got Sam Johnston. Get out. Yeah, just not consistent enough for me. A lot of mistakes. I think he's been really poor since he's joined Wolves. The fact that Jose Sarr came back into the squad and the two of them have been fighting for their position kind of just sums up the whole situation for him. Next, got Ramsdale. Ramsdale, meh. I think Ramsdale's a bit of a sticky one, really, because I think he's a good goalkeeper, but it's a really difficult kind of like sample pool and sample size to take this season out of context. You look at the moments you think, but he's not helped at the fact that he's at Southampton. I don't really get it. I don't really know why he went there because he's going to go down to the Championship. He's definitely a Premier League goalkeeper. He has moments where you kind of question his decisions, but I still think he's consistent enough that he should be in the Premier League. I don't really think he's Southampton's too low down in my opinion. But yeah, we'll just whack him in there. Robert Sanchez, very similar again. A lot of mistakes, but I'll probably whack him in and around here, probably at the bottom of Met. I don't think he's on get out. I think that's probably a bit reactionary and things, but there's a lot of mistakes in this game, and I think there's too many of them, and we speak about it all the time. Moments where you've watched him this season, you're thinking, like that Man City moment when he came rushing out from his line, and you think Maresca keeps backing him, and I don't really get it. Think about how many goalkeepers Chelsea have got, and the fact that Kepa has had a better season than Robert Sanchez, and that it just doesn't sit right with me. But it's frustrating because he was brilliant at Brighton, but then again you kind of question the player, and you think of the way he was dropped before he left and things. There's quite clearly something not right, and he's just not working out at Chelsea. So I really feel like he should be dropped. Next we've got Emi Martinez. I'm going to put him in Unreal, but not at the top. This season, I think there's been a bit of a drop off this season for me with Emi Martinez. I feel like a few more questions should be asked. They can't get clean sheets to save their life. And there's been a few times this season where you've looked at him and thought, this isn't a world's best goalkeeper right now, because a lot of people put him as the best. But I think there's been a lot of mistakes this season, a lot of moments where goals go in, you question it, you think, should we start asking questions about him? That's in my opinion, but he's still a great goalkeeper. He's still one of the best. But I just think this season a little bit of a drop off, maybe because of the fact there's no competition for his place. But he's still definitely in Unreal towards the top. Next, got David Raya. Same again. David Raya goes in behind Emi Martinez. I really like him as a goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. Maybe now I'm looking, I think Edison should probably go down a bit. I'm going to move Edison down to there, down into fourth, and then we'll put Emi Martinez second. And David Raya third. I really like David Raya, and I think he's absolutely incredible. I think some of the things he does and his distribution how incredible. What I love and the biggest thing about him is how demanding and how commanding he is in his box. You see him demanding all of his team around from corners and things, and he comes and collects absolutely every single cross and then distributes it really fast. I really like him. I feel again he gets a lot of unnecessary stick and hate. It's very similar to Edison. The two of them for some reason get put, well, to be honest, the majority of these Unreal, there's a lot of questions asked about these four here, not so much Emi Martinez, but a lot of questions being asked of those four and kind of mistakes and moments. But I think consistency wise now they've been at the top level for quite a while. But there you go. That is me ranking the Premier League goalkeepers for this season. Here are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please do smash the like button. Please do subscribe. Maybe I've been a bit harsh on some of the players, but I'd still like to hear what you guys think. And if you haven't already, please smash the like button and please do subscribe for another video coming your way. Lots of these tier lists because you guys seem to like them. Comment down below what you'd like me to rank next. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow for another upload. Peace.